Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start a lecture which is based on shifting and scaling in discrete time signals. Remember one thing regarding the discrete time signals: the signals are always defined at integer values of time. So it will be defined at 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3, and so on, but it will not be defined at, let's say, 0.1, 0.2, 0.5. Any fractional values, the signal cannot be defined. So the values at fractional values of time, the signal amplitude will be equals to 0 always. Now when we are doing shifting and scaling, again you have to remember the logic that when you are shifting and scaling in time domain, there will not be any change in the amplitude of the signal. So the amplitude on the y-axis will always remain same. It will be shifted, the signal will be shifted to the right hand side or left hand side depending upon the shift we are bringing, and it will be scaled on time axis depending upon what we are scaling. So let's take some example. So with respect to this signal, suppose we want to do shifting of xn by n minus 4. So it means that we are delaying the signal to the positive side, or you can say we are shifting the signal to the positive side on time axis. The values which will be defined at 0 will move to 4. The value which will be defined at 1 will move to 5. So you can say the value which is defined at 0 is here. The value which is defined at -1 is here. The value, or you can say the amplitude, is 1 by 2 at 2, because the amplitude at -2 is 1 by 2, so it's shifted to by 4 values on the right hand side. You can see the value at -4 will move to 0, so at 0 the amplitude is equals to -1. Now if we have to shift a signal in this form 3 minus n, you have to again remember this thing, that if you want to know the rule, you have to go to the previous lecture of time shifting in discrete and continuous time domain, which says that if we have a shifting, scaling and a time reversal together, so first of all you have to do shift, then you have to your scale, and then you have to bring the time reversal. In this case we have only two things, one is shifting and another one is time reversal. So the first thing which we have to do is shifting and then time reversal. So we will shift this signal by +3 value. So you can say we are not considering the effect of the negative sign, because we are going to bring it when we will use the time reversal thing. So it will be 3 plus n. So this signal will be shifted to negative side by -3 value, or you can say you are advancing this signal xn by value equals to +3. Now so the values which will be at 0 will move to -3, the value at -4 will move to -7. Consequently, you can say the values which was at 3 will move to 0. So you can say in a similar way that all the points on time axis are shifted by -3 on negative side. Remember, there is no change in the amplitudes. The amplitudes remain same. Now the next step is you have to do the time reversal. Time reversal means that the value which is at 0 will remain at 0, because 0 and -0 are same. The value which is at -1 will change to +1, +2 will change to -2 will change to +2, -3 will change to +3, -4 will change to +4, and so on. So whatever the values you have on the negative side will move to the positive side, and if you have some values on positive side, they will move to the negative side. Now take next example as x of 3, and x of 3n is basically, as I told you earlier, discrete time signals are defined at integer points only. Therefore points where time is fraction it is not defined. So x of 3n means that we have to divide the time axis by 3. So that means the signal xn which we have taken earlier, the points which are on time axis will be divided by 3. So if we divide that signal by 3, you will see that the points which was at n equals to 3 divided by 3 will becomes n equals to 1. The point which is defined at n equals to minus 3 will become minus 1, and at 0 will remain 0, because 0 divided by 3 remains 0. And the remaining points, if you will see at 1, at 2, at 4, at all these points the signal will be a fractional value. When you will divide 4 by 3, it will be 4 divided by 3, it's a fractional value. 1 divided by 3, it's a fraction value again. Minus 2 divided by 3 is again a fractional value. So these points are not considered while we are plotting x of 3n. Now if we are doing now x of 3n plus 1, so remember, suppose in your exam or somewhere else someone asks you x of 3n, and in the next part of it someone is asking you 3n plus 1, then you are not going to use the result of this x of 3n to find x of 3n plus 1. Always remember the golden rule that if you have a shifting, scaling and time reversal, the rule is shifting first, then you will scale, and then you will reverse if there is a reverse. In this case we don't have any time reversal, so what we will do is we will shift the signal x of n by one value on the negative side. So the value which was at minus 4 will move to minus 5, at minus 3 will move to minus 4, the value at minus 2 will move to minus 3, minus 1 will move to minus 2, minus 1 will move, 0 will move to minus 1, 1 will move to 0, 2 will move to 1, and 3 will move to 2. So it's x of n plus 1, means you are advancing the signal by one value. So now what you have to do is you have to find the answer of x of 3n plus 1. That means you have to scale this signal by 3. So multiplication on time axis means that you have to divide it by 3. So when you will divide this 2 by 3, it will be 2 by 3, it's a fractional value, so we are not going to use it. Then 1 divided by 3 again is a fractional value. 0 divided by 3 is 0, so we will use 0 here. Minus 1 divided by 3 is again fractional value. Minus 2 divided by 3 is again a fractional value. Minus 3 divided by 3 is minus 1, it's a integer value, so it will be used in the answer. Minus 4 divided by 3 is fractional value. Minus 5 divided by 3 is fractional value. So these are not the part of the final answer of x 3n plus 1. Now take another example of a function. We have x of n multiplication with u of 3 minus n. So u of 3n minus n means you have to find a unit step function with respect to it. As we know that u of n is starting from 0 to infinite, so it's having an amplitude equals to 1 starting from 0 to infinite. So when you will find u3 plus n, so u3 plus n means you have to shift the same signal by value minus 3 on the negative side. So now the signal will start from minus 3 and goes to infinite. There is not something like infinite minus 3. Infinite minus 3 is again infinite, because infinite is not the number which you can define. Now what's the next step? You have to do time reversal. So u of 3 minus n means whatever the values you have on the positive side will go to the negative side, negative side will go to the positive side. So these value will come to the positive side and these values will go to the negative side. So now this function is defined from minus infinite to 3. when u of 3 minus n is multiplied with x of n, answer will be x of n, as u of 3 minus exists from negative to, means negative infinite to 3. So you can see, so whatever you will multiply with the unit step function, so it's defined from 3 to minus infinite. So when you will multiply it with x of n, you will get x of n. Next question is x of n minus 2. Now if you are doing x of n minus 2, that means you are shifting the signal by a value equals to 2 on the positive side, or you can say you are delaying the signal by a value equals to 2 units. So whatever the value you have at minus 4 will now move to minus 2, minus 3 will move to minus 1, minus 2 will move to 0, and so on. 3 will move to 5. So whatever the values were defined for x of n, they will shift to the right hand side by 2 values. So you can say they are delayed by 2. The last part is, suppose you have to find x of n plus minus 1 raised to the power n, x of n divided by 2. Always remember, when you have minus 1 raised to the power n, if you will put n equals to 0, the answer will be 1, or you will put any even number, or you can say even values of n, then answer will be 1. When you will put a negative value of n here, it will be minus 1. So this is the plot of your x of minus 1 raised to the power n into xn. I want you to look at this and figure out how it has been created. But how it actually happening is that whatever the amplitudes of xn are, they are multiplied with minus 1 raised to the power n. So they are multiplied by minus 1 raised to the power n, means they are, for n equals to 0, minus 1 raised to the power n becomes 1. For n equals to 2, 4, minus 2, minus 4, it becomes 1. For n equals to 1, minus 1, minus 3, plus 3, it becomes minus 1. So in this way, you can see at minus 4 the amplitude remains same, minus 1. At minus 3 the amplitude becomes positive 1 by 2. At minus 2 the amplitude remains same. At minus 1 the amplitude goes to the negative side due to minus 1. At 0 it remains same. At 1 again it changes its polarity, the amplitude. At 2 it remains same. At 3 it changes its polarity on the negative side. So when you will add this x of n into 1 minus 1 raised to the power n, then and you divide it by 2, you will get this answer. Thank you. I'm always ready to accept any questions from your side, which I will solve and upload it on my channel. If you have any questions regarding signals, then I will be very 100% ready to help you on that. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe and comment. Thank you.